Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. With me, Matt. We have a 4v4 on Quarantine. A 4v4 map on a map I've never seen before. Pretty big urban map here. This one you can find in the workshop, I'm pretty sure, called just Quarantine. Let's go through the Western Front battle here. We have Orca ST as the United States of America. I think all the allies are Americans actually. Playing as Rifle Company, getting lots of blue and grey out the gate, okay. And then we have Gamesh, without a commander yet. We have Major Artexis is back with Ranger, and I actually think I did see a commander choice. It's Tank Destroyer down there, okay. And then we have DHWT as Airborne. Okay, so we have a very wide mix of United States troops here. And for the Axis. You have E-Hot as Sturm Tactics for the Waffen-SS. Sapoti as Infanteriedivision for the Wehrmacht. Panax as the Waffen-SS for the Commander shit. And Psycho, Staff Division for the Wehrmacht. So we have a good mix of everything at the moment. One SS and one Wehrmacht for each flank. And so far a good mix of commanders. This should be an interesting 4v4. It's also very urban. I've not seen a map like this before. We also have lots of blue and grey coming in. Very much cheaper infantry squad you can get if you're playing as US Rifle. Very bad though, and they tend to suffer losses really rapidly. You have to use them with caution. Meanwhile, the Tank Destroyers also get their own cheap infantry, the Bloody Buckets. That's the same as the blue and grey, and I think they are a little bit better personally. But I think the blue and grey can just be, I guess, replaced a little bit easier. Oh, Americans got more down the open there. American and Realism be able to be surrounded here in the streets. Very brutal engagements here. But the Americans are pushing up on the southern flank here aggressively. Meanwhile, the US Air... Nope, take it back. You have US Airborne already up here in the forward position. Probably airdropped in a little bit earlier. And blue and grey are taking up positions in the buildings. These Wallonian troops are going to have a hard time. We're seeing a lot of Wallonians called in. Oh! Incendiary grenade there from the Brandflash here, actually. That actually worked pretty well. But I think both sides are going to suffer heavy losses in this kind of urban environment. Like, there's buildings everywhere. The Wallonians I don't think are going to match to medium-range firepower of American units. More both grenadiers coming into this part of town. Oh well, city technically. This would be a city, I'm pretty sure. Germans have secured the church here in the center alongside the... I'm assuming that might be a town hall. Germans also setting up roadblocks. Trying to deny more advancements in the future for the Allies. Well, the Airborne is slowly sweeping around on the north there. Lots of staff troops have been called up to hold them. Blue and grey being equipped with carbines, good choice in this kind of environment. Bloody Buckets also in the streets moving around. Lots of American troops here. Germans are slowly being forced to pull back. They have pulled out an MG-34 though to try and assist in the future. Still no commander choice with Canax. But an early tech up already. Top troops are engaging alongside the Storm Pioneers up here. Throwing down some more American riflemen. The Airborne are being equipped with carbines. But that's a lot of rifle fire. That Airborne squad might not get out of there. Actually, looks like it might. Good to see. Not an Airborne squad coming up. But they need to be behind cover. Germans are holding the center of the city, though. It could come in handy. MG-34 coming up here for the Waffen-SS. Rifle grenade going out. Didn't hit anything. More Americans moving into the city here. Blue and grey, the Bloody Buckets are just slowly holding up a position. 60mm mortar coming out for the blue and grey. I think this one is available and unique to US Rifle. It's a very cheap mortar, but it's only 3 men in the squad. This means we provide very close range support fire, which is good for urban combat, I'm pretty sure. Probably what it's meant to be used for. Blue and grey still holding up against the SS Sturmtruppen here. This is going for a tech up, however. The Volksgrenadiers coming back into the city. MG-34 sitting up inside one of the buildings. Oh, Americans have secured the center of the city here. But an MG-34 is setting up to try and stop them.
HMG squad ready for action.
We're gonna have a lot of firefights here. Buildings are on fire. Storm Pioneers have been equipped with MP-40s. Good choice in the environment. Oh, blue and grey can do grenade assaults. That's actually pretty handy. Well, that more is in trouble. Looks like I might get out of that. Blue and Grey waiting in ambush. Very nice. The firefights are still going on in the outskirts here. Still a command chest mechanics, but he is barbed wiring up the cover as well. They really want to create a roadblock here for the future. Meanwhile, the Mthis are setting up their forward HQ up here. Risky maneuver potentially. Oh, and we have a command chest. It's mechanized, I'm pretty sure. Very fascinating. So that means very cheap half tracks that cost no fuel. You can see. No fuel cost here at the tool team anyway. But an MG34, MG42. Doesn't matter, that's a great assault on it. Oh. Yeah, that's going to be very hard for the Germans to come back from. But the infantry is starting to get armed with Sturmgewehrs. It's going to make it very difficult in the streets for the Americans later on. Airborne is still fighting in the outskirts out here. Good to see around this farm. But the Mthis do have the HQ up. First half-track is in the field. So the Germans are going to try and defend this manor that's been set up to be a base of operations, evidently. Ooh. Riflemen with grease guns coming into the houses, flanking the Straftroopen. Very good usage of American equipment here. Ooh, good one flash inside the building though. And the German front line is collapsing at the moment up there. The Germans have pushed back on the southern flank by the looks of it, using some Wallonians armed with MP38s, I'm pretty sure. Or MP34s, my bad. We're trying to dig in, but they got spotted. More 60mm mortar coming up again. And lots of blue and grey are still in the field here.
Rear echelon troops on the front line.
Well, the other Americans have set up a 30 cal to hold down this street. Yeah, I'm trying to push up here, but looks like the MG34 100 round armed Storm Grenadiers will stop them. You need to upgrade available to them if you're using Mechanized. You can also get the MG42 on top of it, so they become really good fire support squads as a defensive unit if you're playing Mechanized. Overall, Mechanized get some really nice options, like these Panzer Grenadiers you can get. And get the MG42 with 100 rounds, which is absolutely amazing. I'd like to see more of that kind of stuff used, in all honesty, personally. Yeah, is equipping on the Americans here. They still cannot get through because this road has been blocked. They need to demolish that somehow. The Americans have tried to set up here for open fire, but also German machine guns are pointed that way. That's a difficult position, I'd say. Oh, flamethrower inside the half-track, okay. The Storm Pioneers are trying to fight on this angle. Doing a great assault through the buildings. Over the buildings, rather. Ooh. Almost killed that American MG team, but I didn't just pop in the building here. And they'll just use the MP40s to mow them down. Yeah, pretty lethal.
Gun crew just got wiped out.
Americans are suffering heavy losses, but so are the Germans here. Oh, the half-track got surrounded in the streets. Artillery called in from this lieutenant, though. Has tried to push up here, but there is a lot of blue and grey on the field. As the Americans are sending a lot of infantry to the city. The Germans in this flank is mostly relying on Wallonians by the looks of it. Bongo set up there. Not really gonna do much though. And those Wallonians might get killed. Also, self-destructing, I think. No, it will not refund it, but I think it will cause an explosion. Oh, he cancelled it. Okay, never mind. What's that? The biomark has also set up a bunker here. Overall, the German position is a little bit tumultuous. Because alone have set up a demo charge. They're planning to break through that barricade. There we go. And destroy a few buildings with it.
Looks like the QM finally got his new.
Guess the Americans were a little bit trigger happy there. Must been equipped with a flamethrower, German one of that. But the Wehrmacht is moving to intercept. But in this kind of close quarters environment, it favors the Americans at the moment. Germans need to get some different weapons.
We are suffering losses.
Well, the Grenadiers are actually being very accurate thanks to that little truck away behind. And this is a very different match. Oh, flags it up to cover the street from the German side. Okay. Very interesting map. I've not seen it before, so... Also more to come out for the Mthis. Mthis has lost the infantry, they call in some stormtroopers instead. And you could put the LMG-34 if you're playing as Mechanisierte. Like actually have a machine gun on them. Something that stormtroopers normally don't have. Because they're being equipped with 2 Sturmgewehrs. And we've seen the MT-34 on top of them as well. That's gonna be pretty potent. No, he cancelled it. He might be waiting for the full Sturmgewehr. Well, the Americans here are still facing trouble. Staff is trying to hold up here. And Rubble going out. Oh, yeah, those Americans have to pull back. Now, the southern flank, it looks like the Germans are pushing up again alongside the Wallonians. Lieutenant has arrived to lead the front line for the blue and grey. Before these on these pioneers. That'll definitely help them in this kind of environment. Truppen are slowly securing territory again and digging in. Oh, stormtroopers again mowed down by the airborne. The airborne have actually stolen the German machine gun, okay. The airborne are still trying to threaten that position. I heard an airborne camp? No, I don't see an airborne camp close to the front. Yeah, but I'm pushing up though. Need to be cautious. Oh, but those Doom Pioneers might be... Oh, they got some good shots there. I don't think the last guy can do much. Yeah, he got shut down. Brave attempt, though. Oh, Americans moving through the streets there. Being mowed down. Grey pushing up this way, meanwhile. If that's going to work against Sturmgewehrs. As you can see, Sturmgewehrs mowed them down. But Pineapple is going out. Also great there from the... Ooh. Lots of greats going on around there. Brutal. It's gonna remind me of a truck, and I think this one is boxed still, that you can actually pull it out of the truck. It's really damn annoying. You can reinforce from the truck though, which is handy, but it's also set up a 40 HQ by the looks of it. But the Rangers are slowly taking up position in the town here now, securing the center of it. Just gonna give the Allies a little bit more resources to work with, I think. Urban tour. I have not seen an urban map like this in a while. Mthis says on the northern front has lost practically everything. Handcart center going up for the Germans though, so they can get more veteran troops. At least for one of them. Pick up for storm tactics coming out. Infanterie company is still relying mostly on Volksgrenadiers. Makes sense for the kind of environment. Laptops are still fairly holding. Yeah, this Waffen-SS commander has lost practically everything. He's not grabbing the MG42. I can see they get access to the Panzerbüchse for the Storm Pioneers. Handy. A2 Sherman already in the streets, okay. That's gonna be very hard to move up with it through this kind of environment. Like, look how many angles of fire you can take on the streets. Well, good use there of the American riflemen. Playing at those Strafttruppen. The problem with the Strafttruppen is they have no AT capability. So that Sherman is going to have a little bit of an easier time. Until they called in on it. It's the perfect environment for Panzerjägers though. And we do have a Panzerjäger nearby. Oh, heavy howitzer leveling this part of the city. That was a precision shot by the looks of it. Ranger Recon rushing up. At the southern flank we have the US Riflemen trying to make another push. Only 3 Wallonians are trying to hold them. That's not going to be enough, I think. And they're looking good there. I will apologize for not being able to keep an eye on all the action. There's some smoke that we cannot see, I think. All the action because it is a 4v4 and it's a fairly big map, so I have to move around a lot. German has to get in on another location, I think. But the Waffen-SS on the northern flank is really down to very few troops. There's an MG as well as a command half-track. German threatening that flank. Blue and Grey have gotten a bazooka, which apparently they get access to if they get a veteran to do. Impressive. Don't think I've actually ever seen them with a bazooka. Germans are abandoning the central island after seeing the Sherman coming rolling. We have a sort of forward HQ set up down here. Yep, that is. Pioneers pushing up, but there's more American riflemen nearby. More grenade assaults going on in a Gabaldalad now. Really brutal battle. Luke's coming out for the Mechanisierte. That'll help deal with the American infantry. Sherman 76 already up for the airborne division. And double pack howitzers as well. Did they not have an airborne cam then? They might just airdrop them in. Guys, this part of the town is being overrun. Rangers pushing in too. Good attempt with the flamethrower, but looks like the Rangers managed to beat out with the Thompsons. And he's pushing up. Double hits are coming out for the Infantry Division. Works pretty well in this kind of environment, I think, mostly because they cannot be flanked easy. Panzer Grenadiers coming out for Storm Tactics, as well as an F1 command tank. And if you're playing a Storm, I'm pretty sure they aren't entirely with high explosives, so it's good for dealing with infantry. And there's a lot of infantry right here. Rangers have grabbed the Panzers right by the looks of it, okay. Ooh, Lux took a recoilless rifle hit. Looking good there for the Germans still. I think those... Oh, he lost his nerve, okay. But the Sherman 76 and an A2 is pushing up here. Looks down. Not looking good for this German position. Big artillery called in. High explosive destroyed the forward command headquarters. And well, I guess the Germans are still holding the southern flank a little bit better. Not to say that, but they do have a lot of assault weapons down here and the Hetzers. But the northern flank is being overrun by Shermans.
We just lost a unit.
Looks like the Americans are being very aggressive today. Actually threatening the German fuel. Oh yeah, another building down. I mean, Canax is really behind. I think the other German players might need to send support to the northern flank in some form or another. Infantry is going out for the Infantry Division. The high explosives killing the blue and grey here.
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Boy, the Americans are being very, very aggressive up here. Not good for the looks.
The enemy is attacking one of our forward buildings.
Looks like the Germans on the northern flank have gotten a Stu though.
The enemy has destroyed.
Question is if that will help. Where did they get the Stu from? Is that like a call-in? Oh, they have a tank building. I completely missed that. The Stu will that be able to help them is the question. The American tank is being very aggressive right here. Also, they're actually going for the German base. That's a pretty hasty move. 2G coming up behind for the Wehrmacht up there, makes sense. Meanwhile, the Waffen-SS is pushing down here on the southern flank. Looks like it's going a little bit better. The Panzer Grenadiers are really good in assault operations if you're playing Storm. Yeah, the Americans are just breaking completely through here. The Stu does not have any ATK weapons on it. It is loading a heat shell though. Let it taken out. Panzer 4J arriving for the Waffen-SS down here. Oh, good flank there with the Panzer Grenadiers supporting the Wallonians. Using only submachine guns there. But the Americans are still threatening the base up here. But there's a Stoop now. Northern Waffen-SS player has lost practically everything. They actually have lost everything. Rangers coming up too. Not sure what the Germans are going to think about that, but they're still holding onto the southern flank. pretty competently.
Send orders.
Have lots of good officers and infantry presence. Americans are suffering heavy losses. But they are playing a commander that can take the losses a little bit easier.
Where do you want us?
It looks like the tank destroyer company has also lost a lot of troops. The northern flank has been very successful. Doom Pioneer is being called in from Canucks now again. They're trying to help rebuild. But this troop will be able to keep them alive for a while, I think, if utilized correctly.
Pioneer Cobra is ready for action.
Coming to 76 Germans could easily outflank it. Panzer IV is ready to spring into action if needed, though. The Germans were almost cut off on the northern flank by the looks of it. Second Stuk G being called in. Always good to see Stuks. You know, the heads is just holding down the streets here. Ooh, big artillery shell in the center here. Americans at the church are not going to be able to do much in the long engagement, I think.
Squad, get ready.
Very interesting battle.
The bunker has been converted to American.
Repairs going on the German field headquarters. Americans are trying to lay down mines by the looks of it. This is just a tiny mine, but they got thrown to pieces.
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
92 guns are really making it hell for the Americans here. But the Major has set up a retreat point with an ambulance. Very nice. Church is on fire. Looks like this town is getting completely destroyed. Needs to be cautious here. They are fighting 76s. But their best bet is to fight them at range and get the Germans to attack them. Yeah, like that. Good job, Stuks. Suga coming out here though. Didn't penetrate. Germans have secured the central island again.
Regiment advises.
M10 holding down this part of the town. 56 German pushing up. Got supporting. Will the heads be able to survive a 76 till they penetrate, though? That's the question. And the headsets are a very hard target to hit. Thanks to its slow silhouette. Oh, but yeah, I got it immobilized there. And actually, its ammo cooked. Oh, not good.
Our panzer forces have been. We must defend.
Yeah, Stuks is still saving the front line here for the Germans on this flank. Good to see. That's the power of Stuks, everyone. It's cheap and fairly effective. But all these pack howitzers are starting to hurt, I think. What the Germans need up there is also infantry support and more repair teams. The Americans also slowly creeping up on the southern flank again. Great assault going in here from the Volksgrenadiers. Killing a ranger squad. It looks like the Major. No, that's a Hauptmann, I think. That might be the Major, actually. Oh, I'm pretty sure that's a Hauptmann. I'm not good at the German officer logos yet. Designed with an NG-42 with 100 rounds. Very nice to have him as an infantry commander. He can hold down a position pretty well. More Shermans. This is now a jumbo. Oh god. That's going to be a problem for the Stuks to deal with. Oh, HQ down. Oh, not good. Looking good there. A good shot there from the Stuks, though. Grabbing the AT gun, even if it's a small caliber one. Oh, immobilizing, I see. Oh, and they got the jumbo. Very good job, Stuks. Don't underestimate them. But the Americans are still moving around. Artillery going in. The Germans not giving up easy. The Infanterie Division and the Sturmtactics of the Waffen-SS is definitely holding on to the southern flank. A lot better than the Strafttruppen and the Mechanisierte from the Waffen-SS did. They're still holding on there. Barely. Another Stuk coming out for the Strafttruppen. But they need support from their allies on the southern flank. If they move any troops out, they might get overwhelmed by the Americans. It's a very precarious position to be in. You can see and tell.
An anti-tank battery is ready for deployment.
But lots of Volksgrenadiers are still present with their Sturmgewehrs. And the Stooks are doing a good job holding up the front line up here.
Fresh grenadier squad.
4 Grenadiers coming up.
Behind our lines. Headquarters attacked.
Yeah, but holding up here alongside some Brazilians. We have the Brazilian infantry as well. Okay, we have a little bit more of an international force here from the Americans. And the Scot is definitely providing an issue here for the German infantry. That's what's secured the connection point back to the Allies. Then which has been planted on the bridge by the Germans. I guess in the case that the northern flank fails, they can fall back and try and regroup on the southern flank. Risky maneuver, but it is at least something you can do. Looks like the Waffen-SS might get the HQ up again shortly. Almost prepared. Looks like some supplies being airdropped in for the Germans as well. M10 are able here for the Americans. And SEGAs are trying to get into a good position. They might get shut up here, but they might be able to get a rocket off. Yep, there we go. M10 decrewed. And he is trying to distract. Oh, great assault. Panzer 4J pushing up here for the Sturm tactics. Against 76, that's a hard sell. 76 is fun. Oh, good shot though. But I think the 76 is just a better tank. Oh, what am I saying? That thing is actually doing good. They actually have the same armor stats though, so it's all up to the gun. Was he a Major? Oh, that is a Hauptmann. Yeah, I was correct. Well, white phosphorus going into the German base now. But the SS is going to be able to take up behind this thanks to their trucks coming out. Yeah, the white phosphorus is definitely causing a lot of damage. The Germans are just waiting to push in. Lots of more Brazilians have also been called in. But the fight continues in the southern part of the city. Sherman is still holding up. Stormtroopers pushing up. Not Stormtroopers, Panzer Grenadiers. Throwing an incendiary grenade. Good one at that. And then the satchel charge. Very nice. Oh, the Americans are not moving. Oh, that's brutal.
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
And this city is just getting completely demolished. I think I've seen this urban battle this intense in a long time. Especially not one with so many buildings you can actually use. Then cover. Ouch. They tried to do an attack round. He's used the AT grenade. Ah, too late. She's still holding up here though. And they're doing a pretty good job. But howitzers have been established on the southern banks here by the Wehrmachtstrafdivision. They'll provide artillery support. How to deal with the American pack howitzers. I think have been neutralized. No, they've not been neutralized yet. If they start firing, they will be hit by counter barrage, I think. Waffen-SS need to establish their trucks again.
Looks like we're getting into the excitement.
More Panzer Grenadiers available for the Waffen-SS. Light infantry big issues causing issues.
Sherman ready to go.
105 Sherman coming up for the infantry division. Infantry, I mean. Stooks in trouble.
A gun carrier just got knocked out.
Well, that's not good for the Germans. Right, here's to a Panzerfaust though, and they got some good ones off. That's one easy 8 down.
A medium tank was just lost.
Oh. That's taking out Shermans though, so it is working for now. But Germans are trying to overrun the Americans again and just keeping them at bay. The southern flank here. Look, it's working so far. Stu's not good, doing a good job there. Oh, not good. Look down again.
We lost a gun crew.
Germans need some packs, I think. But these Shermans are just pushing up aggressively. Yeah, without packs, you're kind of in trouble. Also without the Stooks. Pack is coming out though, but it might be too late because this A2 is pushing up with aggressively high explosive shells. You know, the combat continues on the southern flank. Grey is still making sacrifices, pushing up. Fighting against the Panzer Grenadiers. It looks like the northern German flank might have collapsed. Hard to tell. Guess with white phosphorus going in, but it might actually be... Yeah, now counter barrages at the beginning. That's one pack out taken out. One pack is arriving for the Staftruppen. Oh, not looking good there. The Germans do have the means to blow up the bridge, but they could technically still survive. Yeah, they actually are blowing up the bridge. They're gonna buy the southern flank time because the northern flank has collapsed. Of course, it's one thing they can do. Because that's gonna be a little of an issue, a little bit more of an issue for the Americans to repair, I think. Yeah, I suppose it will give some semblance of security for the southern flank. The Germans can still try to make a comeback up here in time. But the packs are starting to show. It's going to be hard to use artillery now thanks to these howitzers on the other flank. Oh, we also have a Sturmtiger now arriving for the Mthis. Now that will definitely cause some damage. Oh, American Lieutenant has ventured to 5. Impressive. No more supplies being airdropped in for the Germans. The Staftruppen are still technically alive. Not sure about Kanaks though. I only have one Sturm Pioneer. That's not going to be an easy one to come back from. Man, the Americans are just pushing up so aggressively here. And I think this is now the northern flank being completely overrun. Even the airstrikes coming in. And our Germans will need something to ensure that that doesn't get I suppose, repaired. And now the Germans will probably have heard that the northern flank has been overrun entirely. They're completely crushed. So an encirclement is about to happen. I guess the Germans are going to do a counterattack to try and prevent that from happening by widening the flank. With the Sturmtiger in tow, might very well be possible. Sturmtiger can be very potent. Looks like the Panzer Grenadiers are definitely going to be ready to make the sacrifice here. Pushing up aggressively. Sturmtiger just needs to be used at the right time. He needs the proper target. Like around these tanks would definitely help. Companies are calling down here now because there's no way they can get up to their normal base.
We lost a gun crew.
Oh yeah, it's firing. Oh yeah, that's pretty bad. But they're trying to build tank traps. Yeah, they're trying to prevent any movement up there. And the Germans could still do a lot of damage if they can just make a comeback and destroy the other American flank. Like if they can load that bridge, they can technically turn this into a stalemate again. It's gonna be very hard to pull off. Especially because their allies, like Kanaks, cannot do much, but... Oh, they retreat that way. That's not a good way to retreat. And the American tanks are starting to push for the center of the city now. Oh, he's setting up howitzers. Oh yeah, because he's playing his mechanized. That's a thing he can do. That could actually save the German front line if they're doing... Gotta do smartly enough. What are the Germans gonna do there? Technically what Psycho could do, he could call in some pioneers down here. Let's start building buildings in the rear because he's playing as the Wehrmacht. That's not something Kanaks has the luxury of being able to do. Kanaks can just set up howitzers, however. Which can still help. Don't get me wrong. It can still help a lot. Yeah, I'm not sure what the Americans are going to do up here. They're just going to sit around, I guess. The Germans could make a comeback if they're just going to be able to push through. If they can entrench that center so much that the Americans are going to do it. But they need to keep a constant vigil on this bridge. The American Sherman's going into the town, the center of the city now.
We have the forward structure under attack.
Oh, that's not enough AT, I think. Get to get one good shot, but it's not enough. Yeah, several big houses are being set up by the Waffen-SS here.
Has destroyed a panzer.
But yeah, they need to stop the Americans bringing through that. Oh, meanwhile the German howitzers are going to start firing. The Shermans are going to start pushing through. The more Shermans the Americans can just cram through here, the harder it will be for the Germans to make a comeback. Terminate 2 down. Panzerknacker going onto the tank, and they're trying to get close enough to do it. That's not working. The Jumbo's just not dying. Doomtiger is present. Panzer 4J available as well. Oh, they're using the howitzers direct fire. I forgot they can do that. Artillery called in. And the air is just gonna keep all these vehicles in it. And it looks like Kanaks is left. Honestly, I don't blame them, but now the air is gonna script all these units in and they're just gonna die. Is that the AI with howitzers? I'm not sure how good they are with howitzers. I guess we'll find out. Got a Jumbo trying to push up here. Not looking good there.
We have lost contact with a heavy tank.
That Jumbo is definitely going down. Yeah, good job, Panzer 4J. You actually held. Now they're gonna have to need to keep troops up here just because the air will keep spawning stuff in. That's gonna be one problem. Thing is though, if Psycho is just gonna spawn 2 pioneers down here and start building a new base. This is actually lasting a little bit longer and a little bit different than I would imagine it would.
Tank ready. German infantry, cut them down.
Experts going in the AI howitzers. Missing. This is very different from what I expected.
We've lost a squad of infantry.
Let's see what the Storm Seeker is planning on doing. Oh, they're trying to artillery him. Okay.
Ready, set.
I guess because as long as the Americans are staying there, they have vision on them. Gonna make it easier to kill him.
Armor ready.
But the fighting in the streets continue.
Our position is under attack. Grenade!
And this is bloody. Storm Seeker shot. As the Americans do not want to stay in that territory, I think he needs to make that pretty clear for them. The longer they stay in that territory, the more damage they're just gonna take.
Incoming fire.
Still no pioneers out from Psycho.
HQ is under attack.
And he cannot use spend his manpower or anything. This is very weird. Overlord's coming in.
Gun ready.
I can start preparing a lot more infantry and tanks for this flank.
Sherman ready.
Company is called in from the AI.
Tank ready. Enemy infantry.
He has not been using his howitzers though, because the AI is, I don't think, very good at using them. This is so awkward.
Officer ready to be deployed.
Oh, the Jagdpanzer going up for the infantry division. Very good choice. Jagdpanzers are really good in the front engagements.
Armor ready.
American A2 Sherman is pushing up the street though,
Tank support is
holding
here.
it down with the high explosive visuals. And 76 pushing up here. There's a Panzerschreck. Good shot. And all the grenade assaults keep going. The problem with these Panzer Grenadiers is they actually have no AT unless you get them the Panzerschreck. That can make them kind of ouch, they actually died.
Forward elements report an infantry unit lost.
Another AI spawn battle group. Oh yeah, and Psycho is now spawned in with some pioneers and is actually building a new base. But that's actually a thing he's doing. The problem is if the Americans just make a breakthrough, it's kind of over for them.
Tank upgrade complete.
Oh yeah, that's not working.
Good fucking hit.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining
The
fire.
Germans still keeping the Allies at bay for now. I'm not sure how long that's gonna last. Gumbo's not an easy target.
Unit ready.
Another 76 coming. Boom Seeker present. Oh. Oh, Jumbo's actually in penetrations. Oh yeah, American Sherman's down. Ah shit. AI is repairing the bridge. That's gonna be the downfall of the Germans, I think, if I ever see that hammering. Here comes more Shermans. And yeah, the Germans surrender at this point. Makes a lot of sense. Well fought though. This was a very interesting battle. I hope you all enjoyed it. See you all in the next one, everyone. Bye bye.